Hello everyone, I'm Nick. People know me in-game as Elle of the Nether, and welcome to my Better Than Wolves early game guide. Today's topic is bases in Better Than Wolves. A base is one of the most important things you must have to begin your Better Than Wolves journey. Without it, you might just meet your fate like this guy.
Need to kill some animals. Oh, here! I cannot sprint! What? Yo! Yo! Okay, you know.
Why is basing so important in Better Than Wolves? First, obviously, it gives you a shelter and light to stay safe from mobs at night, as well as beginning your long stationary stay in the kitchen. What I mean is, it provides you a place to cook food in the beginning. Of course, if you haven't found an ideal place for your base yet, having a so-called temporary shelter is good enough. But basing covers everything shelters do, plus it gives you your foundation to progress to the later stages of the game. Now that you know how beneficial basing offers, let's find out how to choose where your base goes. First of all, jungle is of course a no-no. No one ever do that, or you might want some jungle spiders to bite you. The swamp biome is filled with witches and slimes when night falls, so you might not want to base there. Oak forests are an okay choice, but it limits your ability to spot mobs and animals, and might make you get lost, so probably not also a great idea. Same issue with taiga forests, and moreover is small snow biomes in general, with the cherry on top being the snow. Though normal snowfall allows mobs to burn during the day, and it doesn't extinguish your campfire. Snowfalls make drying clay a nightmare when it rains. The snow layers land on the drying clay completely pause the progress until either the clay is destroyed or you remove the snow layer. Together with many other bad things I don't need to mention for snow biomes, it's the worst idea to base in the snow biomes overall. Extreme Hills seems to be a decent place to make a base, but it's actually not, just because of the terrain. Often, it is so rough that it forces you to jump a lot, which is bad for hunger reserving in the long term, along with the sparseness of the trees. Sitting as a second place, a desert bordered by greens seems to be a worthy place to put down your base. Rain doesn't exist in deserts, giving you a shit ton of advantages like mobs burn during rain and not thunderstorm, campfires do not extinguish, and clay pauses instead of resetting. Being a flat terrain, deserts help with easy mob spawning and less jumping needed, thus helping you locate more useful resources, and overall is decent for basing. It's even better if you locate a desert temple on the wooded border, or some desert village if you have the skill to trap the villagers. Basically free house and resource if you can make use of it. Standing at first place is a plains with forest borders, with the advantage of being a flat terrain like desert, along with the easier access to all the needed resources like wood, stones, ores, food, and more. Living in the plains, you can feel like you're a king. It also allows you to do everything later on easier, like setting up farms, machines, and animal pens with easy water sources to cover it all. Finding a village in plains is also similar to finding them in the desert. It also gives a massive shelter advantage for you if you can handle the villagers. Moving on, let's answer another question. How do I make the bases? First, we have something called First Day Shelter, which most of you might set this up on your first day. If you only want to stay there and move out later on, a few digs into the earth is good enough. A drawback of it is you can't see the surroundings very well, thus might have a chance to face creepers right above your face and set you in a little trouble. Another type of shelters are called open campfire bases, including some of these designs like treetop bases, floating platform bases or higher terrain bases. Some of the designs use little to no building materials to set up. One single disadvantage though is unless you have a floating block above you that won't burn, your campfires are pretty much in the open and have a chance to get extinguished by the rain. It might as well consume more of your hunger going up and down the bases if you intend to use them at permanent bases. You can also wall off a shallow cave and set out there as well. That base is called a cave base. In fact, you might have done this naturally upon several attempts playing better than wolves. The major drawback to it lies on the amount of building materials, but if you can afford it, it's not too bad overall. The best bases have some decent names on it. First, I will introduce you to the quick wall principle. If you mine down one block, then put a slab on top, you have created a quick wall. What is interesting about this is, most mobs like zombies, skeletons, and creepers can't make a jump over a one block gap and get stuck on the bottom of the wall without being able to jump over 1.5 blocks to reach you on the other side. Using this principle, you can create a base or a shelter of any size in a much quicker way than the traditional block-consuming walls. One of the good bases is popularly known as the spiral base, which is a classic 5x5 box with a spiral staircase like this. It's the fastest safe shelter that can give you both access to stones and a cooking place, as well as giving you your vision to look out for the surroundings and attract spiders in for easy stone eggs at night. A solution to the problem of spiral base being unable to work on shallow dirt layers is the extended base design. With a larger size, you can expect to have some grass blocks floating above, allowing you to put down campfires under them. More than that, you can also expect to be able to have more space for resource harvesting and chilling. The only cost for being larger is it takes a little longer to set up, but once you have established the walls, you are mostly safe to dig down and enjoy the night. A decent contender for sheltering is the infamous cactus bases. Though this can be only done in the desert lands that are close to the greens, the cactus provides a decent way to kill your spiders without effort, in case of having a chance that loot fall into the cactus. With fewer blocks, you can expect to make a safe 2-block shelter and cook your food without having to worry about mobs. The drawback of this design is it's very small, and if you want to enlarge the base, it will cost some building materials. Summing up which base you decide to build, it is totally situational dependent. There is not much of a fixed recipe, but if you get all the essentials, you will have a good time and see basing as an obvious and easy task to do. And that's it for this video. If you had any question about bases, leave them down in the comment section. See you guys in the next video and have fun with Better Than Wolves.